for our last cabinet meeting of the year, so that's going to be very exciting. Okay, well today I'm very pleased to be joined here with the Deputy Premier and of course University of Queensland, Griffith University and of course Sanofi. This is a landmark day for Queensland where we welcome Sanofi to Queensland for research into mRNA vaccines. This is absolutely exciting. We said during COVID we need to be manufacturing more here in Queensland, and this is the groundwork to enable that manufacturing to happen right here. I want to thank the Deputy Premier, who's been working very closely on this project, as the former Health Minister as well, who was with me by my side during COVID. We knew how important it was to look at manufacturing more things here, whether it was PPE or vaccines. Can I pay special tribute as well to our leading universities, and I think you'll hear from the company, in particular Jean-Francois, where he will talk about what made Queensland such an attractive place to invest, and that is the great universities that we have here and the ability for them to actually work together. This will mean some 200 jobs, and once again our biomedical research here in Queensland is first class. I'm absolutely honoured that Sanofi has chosen Queensland, in particular Brisbane, and I can't think of a better early Christmas present than this investment of $280 million here into Queensland. I'll hand over to the Deputy Premier and then we'll hear from Jean-Francois.
Thanks so much, Premier. This is a massive deal for Queensland, a great outcome for Queensland. The last few years have really underlined how important vaccines are for healthcare and how many of the vaccines of the future will be based on the mRNA technology. But the last few years also underlined how important it is for us to have our own local sovereign research and manufacturing capability, and that's what this gives us in partnership with Sanofi and our universities. We will be able to make the vaccines that our researchers develop here and make them available to Queenslanders for clinical trials here. This is us backing our world-leading researchers, universities and research institutions. It means when our world-leading researchers develop a vaccine, the first of those vaccines can be manufactured here in Queensland. I want to thank Sanofi for choosing Queensland. We know you could have gone just about anywhere in the Asia Pacific, and we are really proud that you've chosen our state and Brisbane. We know it's a big decision, but this is the beginning of a partnership that I think will go on for decades. We'll see the partnership grow. We'll see researchers attracted here. We'll see people finish their PhDs researching the cures of the future here in Brisbane. Our researchers will be able to partner with Sanofi's teams in France and the United States, making Brisbane the vaccine research hub for the Asia Pacific. As I say, this is just the beginning. We will continue to work together to create more jobs, to attract people to Queensland's wonderful lifestyle, and of course to keep delivering world-leading, cutting-edge healthcare to Queenslanders. And so I'm just so proud to be part of this announcement today. Jean-Francois?
Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Deputy Premier. Very delighted, actually, to be here with you today, and very honoured to announce the creation of this Translational Science Hub here in Queensland. That Translational Science Hub will actually allow researchers in Sanofi, in the university, in the whole Queensland, to work together on better mRNA vaccine. Actually, the Translational Science Hub will have three main objectives. The first one is to improve the mRNA technology. We are all grateful about what mRNA vaccine has done to us in the context of COVID, controlling the pandemic, for sure. But we know that this technology needs to be improved to be deployed in other vaccines, and that's what the researcher here in Queensland, together with our scientists in the mRNA Center of Excellence in Sanofi, in France and in the US, will be doing. That's the first objective, but there are two additional objectives that we want to deliver here. We wanted to develop new vaccine candidates, and as soon as Q1 23, we're going to develop one new vaccine against chlamydia, actually a world first vaccine against chlamydia. And chlamydia is a very severe disease, as you know. It's a disease that is causing pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, and also lead to adverse pregnancy outcomes. So very serious disease, and we are on it together in this partnership. Importantly, we also have a third objective, and the third objective is to strengthen further the research ecosystem, the biomedical ecosystem that exists here. Of course, we decided to come here because the ecosystem is already extremely strong. We have a lot of very talented scientists, and we want to work together to deliver great science. But we're also coming here in Queensland because of the vision of the government of Queensland, the vision of the university working together with the ambition to make Queensland a global biomedical hub. And we are very honored, actually, to join you for your biomedical research program that is spanning over 10 years. What are we bringing at Sanofi? So we are at Sanofi a leading vaccine company. We have core competencies spanning across the whole value chain, from research and development, antigen design, immunology, mRNA science, protein science, clinical research, but also regulatory science and vaccine commercialization. And these are actually all these core competencies that we have within Sanofi that we're going to share with your researcher. Certainly in Sanofi, one of our motto and one of our spirit is to invest in talent, because we know that these are the exceptional talent that we can grow, that are helping us chasing the miracle of science to improve people's life. So you can really count on us to contribute to the ecosystem development, and certainly everybody here in the room can count on our collaboration to make this partnership a real success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean-Francois. So I'm here today to talk to you not only as a country medical leader of Sanofi, but also as a very proud Queenslander. I grew up in Queensland, studying at the University of Queensland and working amongst top scientists based here. People like Professor Ian Fraser, who developed the HPV vaccine, Professor Paul Young, whose team at the University of Queensland is developing the vaccine clamp platform, as well as Professor Mark von Ichstein, based at the Griffith University, whose team is working at the very cutting edge of drug discovery. We're very excited, as the local Sanofi team, to have had this opportunity to bring the Translational Science Hub to Australia. As Jean-Francois said, one of the things we really want to focus on is helping develop the local Queensland ecosystem, help build up talents, and keep them here in Australia. Certainly early in my career, I was told, why are you going back to Australia? You're going to kill your career. But now we have the great opportunity to have global Sanofi R&D jobs based right here out of Queensland. Today's announcement really does increase Sanofi's presence in Australia. We are one of the top 5 pharma and vaccines companies in Australia, and we have over 50 medicines on the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, as well as 5 rare disease therapies on the life-saving drugs program and 17 vaccines that are available, 7 of which are on the national immunisation program. Just want to take this opportunity to thank the Premier, the Deputy Premier, the University of Queensland, Griffith University, Minister Scanlon, and the Translational Research Institute, where we will be based, for their vision and energy to put the Sunshine State really on course to become the biomedical research state of Australia. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. Deborah, and then we'll go Deborah and then Caroline. Yeah, then we'll go to questions.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here to mark the beginning of this exciting new partnership. On behalf of the University of Queensland, I'd like to publicly thank Sanofi, the Queensland Government, and our joint foundational partner, Griffith University. This partnership epitomises the collaborative ambition essential for the future development of vaccines and therapeutics. To do this, we need strong university, industry and government partnerships. Such partnerships reflect the triple helix model of innovation, where universities deliver cutting-edge preclinical research, industry drives the translation and scaling up of these findings into new products, and governments provide the essential underpinning support. The partnership we're announcing today ticks all 3 boxes. It's a genuine game changer for Queensland's biomedical ecosystem. It builds on our strong commitment to bring the latest technologies to our vaccine and drug development programs. The pivot to mRNA technologies, of course, accelerated during the pandemic, and at UQ we invested in the people and facilities needed to produce mRNA for preclinical research here in Queensland. This partnership will deliver a globally significant centre for mRNA development and sovereign production capability. It will be a high-tech translational hub where our researchers and clinicians collaborate directly with a global partner in Sanofi that has the resources and scale to translate our world-class biomedical research into real-world health benefits. We're genuinely excited by the potential of this partnership to contribute to biomedical advances and improvements in health outcomes, as well as the growth and diversification of our local economy. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Griffith University is delighted to be part of the announcement of this ambitious partnership, which will really help to grow biomedical expertise in Queensland. There's been a Team Queensland approach to this program with the state government, the University of Queensland and Griffith University working together and showing that when we do that, we have the capability of attracting absolutely globally leading companies like Sanofi right here to both Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Griffith University researchers are already working on vaccines and therapies which are highly relevant to the projects that we're going to undertake under this partnership. We're either in clinical trials or preclinical trials for a wide range of areas, strep A, COVID, malaria, gonorrhea, and working through mRNA technologies as well as having a leading clinical trials unit. The Translational Science Hub is going to accelerate our own researchers' capacity to engage in these projects and also create opportunities for Queenslanders and indeed for global health. Our researchers are delighted to be part of this partnership. We thank all of the partners who work together very quickly to ensure that this project comes to light. Over time, we believe that the partnership that we have begun here today will lead to high-quality jobs for Queenslanders, biomedical research outcomes that will benefit all of humanity and will absolutely put Queensland on the map as a global hub for health research. Thank you.
Minister? Thank you. A big day for Queensland science, and I want to acknowledge Sanofi. The Deputy Premier and I met with Sanofi representatives only a few months ago, and it's great that they've chosen Queensland as their destination of choice. Of course, this didn't happen by accident. Former Labor governments and our Labor government have been investing significantly in biomedical science for some years now, and as you've heard, the ecosystem that has been developed has made Queensland the destination of choice. This is a game changer for the biomedical sector. We know that we've got incredible researchers, we've got highly skilled workforces here in Queensland, so not only will this deliver up to 200 jobs, it also means that those capabilities are lifted. That expertise of a global giant like Sanofi is going to be a game changer for this state. So a really, really exciting day, and I want to congratulate everyone who's been involved. Okay, happy to take questions on this announcement first.
He talks about a $280 million investment. How, over what period of time is that?
I might get the Deputy Premier to answer that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So this investment, this initial investment in mRNA vaccine is actually $280 million, indeed over 5 years, a period of 5 years. You know, the cycle to develop a vaccine takes multiple years, and building, reinforcing the ecosystem also takes time. So that's why we are here. We are here for an initial 5 years, but we are here to stay actually much longer than that.
So the 5 years, sorry, probably Premier or Deputy Premier's question for you. I mean, how much taxpayer money goes into that? So there's $17 million in the state budget. How much are we contributing?
All of the parties to this agreement are contributing towards the $280 million. How that breaks down for each individual partner is subject to the commercial and confidence arrangements in the agreement. But this is a very significant investment for Queenslanders. We'll see more highly skilled, highly valued jobs here in Queensland.
So the $17 million in the state budget, that's how much we're putting
As we always do, the state contributions will be outlined in our budgets and in our annual reports, but this is a very substantial deal for Queensland and represents very good value for money as we can create these direct jobs, as well as take our entire R&D, biomedical R&D ecosystem up to the next level.
That 17 million, that could actually go to other projects too, because that's for a whole range of different things. Is that correct?
Yes, that individual number relates to a variety of projects. All of the parties to this agreement are contributing to that $280 million investment.
And just to clarify, research will start in early 2023?
That's correct. In fact, as I understand, there is hope that a vaccine will be ready to be tested in Q1 2023. Is that what you were saying?
We expect to start in Q1.
Q1.
And it says, so there'll be a research centre in Brisbane, but then it also says that it'll be located, the hub will be located across the state. Can you just explain that?
Yeah, so the Translational Research Institute, which I think most of you have been to, will be the main base, but we will have researchers at our universities right across the state, in particular UQ and Griffith University.
Is there a chance then, I guess, through this investment of investment in new tech for our researchers as well, that perhaps Queensland has not previously had?
That's right. This will give our researchers and research institutions access to IP and technology from within Sanofi that they wouldn't have access to otherwise.
What's the basis of the commercial in confidence? Why does this deal fall within that?
So the process to secure this announcement was a highly competitive one. There is a lot of moving parts to it, but as we always do, the state contribution will be outlined in our budgets and our annual reports.
And I know that, perhaps one Sanofi, but I understand that isn't yet a chlamydia vaccine. Is that fair to say? Would this be kind of the first one, or?
This is very correct. Actually, chlamydia is a very challenging bacteria against which to develop a vaccine. There have been a couple of attempts, vaccines that have been in phase 1, but not really covering the whole strains of chlamydia, because it's a bit like COVID. You see COVID, multiple variants, you have multiple variants of chlamydia as well. And here, thanks to this project and the mRNA technology, we want to develop a vaccine that covers all strains. And there are no commercial vaccine, I confirm that.
And how far away, I guess, are we from realizing a vaccine for chlamydia?
Of course, any vaccine development takes quite a bit of time. We expect to launch phase 1 clinical trials where we test the vaccine in humans in the next 2 years.
That could be a vaccine. I know, obviously, it's still looking at humans, but koalas as well, often affected by that as well. Is there any chance that vaccine could actually work with our animals as well?
So this vaccine is not going to be designed for koalas because this is indeed a chlamydia, but a different kind of strains of chlamydia. So for sure, this vaccine is not intended for koalas. Of course, as Sanofi, if someone wants to use the technology that we are bringing here to try the technology for koalas vaccine, then definitely this is a collaboration we could initiate with universities.
Can you tell us why Queensland, and who did you not back?
I can tell you why Queensland, no, for sure we have been seduced from day one by the quality of the scientists that we saw here, but also very much seduced by the one Queensland team approach, meaning everybody looking in the same direction, speaking in the same direction, actually no surprises through the processes, certainly here with the government and with the universities as well. So certainly a partnership can only work if we all look in the same direction, and this is what we could find here.
Where do you think the vaccine will be made?
So the vaccine will be, where we do the vaccine will be decided later on. For sure, we at Sanofi have manufacturing capabilities around the world, including some facilities that could be manufacturing this vaccine. But of course, it's still a bit early to speak about manufacturing when the vaccine has not yet entered clinical trials.
The Deputy Premier said before that it will be happening right across the state. Does that mean Queensland already has the necessary facilities to ensure this hub can be successful?
Definitely. See, if we elected Queensland as a base for Asian hub, it's because we are convinced that the facilities exist already. The facilities, and again, the talents to really do great science. For sure, we can always do better. We share the same ambition here to really develop a global biomedical research center here in Queensland, and for sure, we will continue building the infrastructure through this program. So we at Sanofi have a pipeline of multiple vaccines. We intend to bring 10 more clinical candidates in the clinic in the next 3 years. Among the vaccine on which we are working, we certainly have improved flu vaccine, we have RSV vaccine, we have a vaccine against acne on which we are working as well. So certainly vaccines can be used to treat quite a few acute diseases, but also chronic diseases, and it's only the beginning of what vaccine can deliver.
So the vaccine is developed, who owns the intellectual property, I guess, over marketability of that vaccine once it's developed?
Sorry, can you repeat that one?
So if a vaccine is developed here, I guess, who owns the marketability, who owns that vaccine, the intellectual property surrounding that vaccine, once if it is developed by Queensland scientists here?
Sure. So for sure we are investing massively in the technology, the mRNA technology, to really improve it, as I was explaining, because the technology was okay for COVID, but there is room to do better. And certainly at Sanofi we've been investing for years in that technology, and we will bring that here. No, there will for sure be additional intellectual property that will be generated, and certainly how the intellectual property is split will depend from what kind of activities, what is the contribution of each party, whether it was a collaboration, service agreement, and so on. So IP will be decided on a case-by-case basis.
All right. Okay. We might let everyone who's been associated with this fantastic announcement leave, and then we'll do a quick few other questions. But thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you. See you tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we're happy to do a few quick questions. Yes.
What do you see as a fair deal if there is a price cap?
I'm probably not going to say too much more than what I've said last week. As you can appreciate, we're now going into deliberations, but also to National Cabinet will be happening middle of this week, and I'm very much looking forward to see what comes out of those discussions on Wednesday.
Do you anticipate getting cheaper Queensland colonies for Christmas?
Well, as I said very clearly, we've set down our parameters, and that is Queenslanders own our assets. Some of those profits are going back to Queenslanders in terms of direct assistance for our households, to the tune in the last quarter of $175. There would have to be adequate compensation, and as I said in the Parliament last week, and I've stuck to my guns in relation to this, we would have to be very, very convinced that no Queenslander would be worse off.
How much financial compensation?
We'll be working through all those issues. As you can appreciate, a lot of work has been going in on the weekend, and I can't say anything further until we have the meeting on Wednesday.
Because you mentioned, I guess, just before that you don't want any Queenslander to be worse off. Considering the state is factually the powerhouse of this.
Thank you. We are the energy powerhouse of the nation. Thank you. Yes.
Shouldn't it
Yes.
be then a question of doing something for the greater good for that entire East Coast band, I guess, making sure that power prices aren't too high for all of the East Coast?
And that's why we've suggested that a pipeline could be built, funded by the Commonwealth, New South Wales and Victoria, directly from the Bowen Basin to release more gas domestically. There's an issue of supply that we know has been around for a long time. But like I said, these are very involved discussions, and I'm not going to say anything further than what I've already said in the Parliament last week.
Would you be happy if some of that compensation included 50-50 health funding?
I'm not going to be discussing opinions here. We really need to drill down to make sure that, as I said, Queensland is not worse off. We're absolutely, I think the Prime Minister wants to see a resolution that will have an impact on everybody, and as long as, from where I'm standing, as long as Queensland is not worse off, I'm happy to go to that table at National Cabinet with an open mind.
Do you anticipate having to call back Parliament for 2022?
I don't envisage it at the moment, but let's see how the conversations go. Yeah.
Premier, have you seen that leaked email from the PA hospital, and are there cuts there?
What I do know is that there has been an increase in funding to the PA hospital. I know that the Health Minister has addressed some of these issues today, and you know, the Deputy Premier would know as well that when he was Health Minister, that if there is underfunding, if there is that they have spent over their amount, these issues are reconciled at the end of the year in MIFA.
Just, I guess, back on that compensation question, there are a couple of Queensland state-owned power generators who get their coal from state, or like they also own the coal mine attached to that. So will you be seeking compensation for both sections of that generation and the coal?
As I said, there is a lot of work happening at the moment. National Cabinet is not too far away, and I will be getting briefed again today, and we will be putting our position clearly at National Cabinet.
The Health Minister had a press conference earlier about the PA issue. And
I'm sorry, I haven't seen that.
That's
Yes.
right. No, essentially, she said that if there was more money, they could do more service. So a lot of it comes down to money. And they talk about the budgets, and that's the budget increases there, but there's obviously room to do more. Do you use something like this with the coal to try to get more money from the federal government?
Look, my advice is that the PA hospital budget was increased by 103 million, 103.3 million.
The point is that it could still do more if there was more money. Obviously, at the moment, the demand is there for more services.
Well, COVID has had an impact, and it's still having an impact. I think, from memory, there was about 280 people who are still in hospital today as of COVID, but we'll double check that figure for you. That has had an impact. People have been off work sick, and of course, don't forget too, when it comes to Christmas time, things do tend to scale down a bit over Christmas time as well, with people taking holidays.
The point here is that there's still room to do more if there is more money. So do you use something like this with the coal as a bargaining chip with the federal government to get more money for the health service?
Well, no, I don't think so, because we've actually put record budgets into our health, and we've got the largest infrastructure investment ever been put on the table, close to $10 billion. There's a lot of money going into our health system, and like I said, we do need to make sure that we have the workers and the capacity to be able to perform the surgeries.
Why wouldn't you use something like this as a bargaining chip with the federal government? Because we want the 50-50 funding, want more funding.
That's right. I'll do my job as the Queensland Premier, and you know, everyone else here does their job. But in relation to the issues that are on the table, it is in relation to energy, and I will be discussing very firmly our commitments when it comes to making sure that Queenslanders aren't worse off, because we are able to give direct assistance back to Queenslanders. $575 over the last 4 years.
The New South Wales government has, I guess, gone out and looked at legal advice on this coal compensation. Has Queensland done the same?
It would be remiss of us not to do that.
Premier, just on the Gold Coast,
Yes.
Gold Coast City Council seems to suggest that other modes of transport are being considered for the Burleigh to the border route of the light rail. Is that correct, and is a plan still going ahead with the light rail?
I'll check with the Transport Minister. He's back today. He's been ill the last week, but my understanding was we were still committed to light rail going down to the airport.
Is that
last
legal
couple
advice? Is that legal advice? Can you tell us what's in that legal advice?
No.
If not, is it similar?
It's called legal advice.
Is that similar to what New South Wales, I guess, has put out so far?
I'll be taking my information on behalf of Queensland to National Cabinet on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Okay? A very important meeting on Wednesday. Thanks, everyone.